annoyingly frustrating part about making this video is knowing that the people watching it are not the people who need to hear it the most. Ugh, we do not have enough respect and integrity towards other people, especially people that we don't like. It's easy to respect your friend or someone that you love or someone that you hold in high regard, but what about our exes? What about friends that we're no longer friends with? In the last few years, I've opened my heart a lot to making more connections and deepening friendships and making more friendships. And the wound I had to overcome was one of trust. I actually have radical acceptance of myself, so I don't find it very difficult to open up about past traumas, things I've healed through, things I have shame with. All of those things are free game. I love talking about things that are introspective and psychological. So the trust issue for me came from the fact that in the past, I did not judge a person's character as well as I thought I had. I did not judge them accurately in the ways that matter. Whereas now, when I judge who I want to be friends with, who I want to accept into my life, the number one thing I look for is whether or not I feel safe in the way that they think about the world around them, the way that they perceive me, and the way they perceive themselves. I don't make friends with people who are not whole, or at least aiming to be. I don't make friends with people who do not like themselves. I do not make friends with people who do not have integrity. I don't make friends with people who find pleasure in talking about people who aren't there or sharing information that they know the other person would not share themselves if they were in the room. Integrity is the biggest marker of whether or not I will trust somebody. And so for this video, I want to discuss how to have integrity and respect towards people you do not want to have integrity and respect. First things first, my mother always said, do not share a secret and then be surprised when somebody else shares that secret because you couldn't even keep it yourself. But that was an extremely isolating thought to have because secret could be anything. It can be that I felt bad, that I did something that I perceived as bad, that I need to talk through an emotion. And these are things we should be talking about with people we feel safe with. Ideally, we would talk openly about these things, including things we've heard from other people if we need to dissect them, to people that are forever people, people that we can trust for the rest of our lives. But that doesn't always happen. So that leads me to making this video. I'm going to quickly rapid fire a list of things I think we should all be living by. You should not be sharing information that somebody shared with you in confidence, even if you are no longer in each other's lives. If you are sharing something that you learned in confidence about another person, you should not be identifying who that person is. You should not be talking about somebody on social media, your intimate experiences, their past, or information that they otherwise would not want out there. It is absolutely appalling to me how many people use other people's stories and experiences they have with them in confidence for clout and attention online. Attention is one hell of a drug. And I feel extra qualified to say this because I have quite literally talked with, hung out with, and dated celebrities. And not once have I ever talked about it on social media, nor have I went and told every single friend I have. I don't think the most interesting thing about me are the people I've talked to or the people I know. That being said, I think there's definitely levels to it. I think when it's something that's impersonal, like for example, Kevin Gates blocked me on Instagram over a miscommunication and we've never met. He wouldn't even recognize me. I don't think I'd recognize him in public. I just know that Kevin Gates is a big figure, but that's like not a big deal. It's funny. Haha, talk about it. Like no one's getting hurt. There's no secret information going out there. There's nothing that would taint his career or mine. There's nothing that allows you to form a thought or opinion about him that is negative because there's nothing personal there. Would I talk about someone that I've dated of high status? No. Could I keep it vague and share my experiences and what I've learned? Absolutely. Another rule I would put into place, delete information about that person that could harm them or that would make them uncomfortable. I dated a guy who would secretly take pictures of every single woman that he either dated or slept with, and he would keep it in a folder. He would keep track of all these girls. And I knew this because he showed me, and I can assume that he shows everyone else he dates because it's his little roster that he's proud of. That to me was the biggest ick. I found it incredibly lacking integrity. And I know damn well none of those women would have felt comfortable knowing that he's doing that. There is literally a primary school lesson in this, and that is to treat people how you want to be treated. It is genuinely not that hard. I'm just editing the video and I wanted to note this metric is great to go by when you have a sound moral compass and a good head on your shoulders and empathy and compassion. Some people genuinely just do not have those attributes. Some people are self-obsessed, narcissistic, obsessed with drama, things like that. So I'd like to believe most people are inherently decent people or at least want to be, strive to be. So that message definitely caters to those types of human beings. If you're someone who is like, I don't care, do what you want, like I don't care if you do this or that, then that metric is obviously not one that you can judge by. Assume that the most graceful thing to do and least problematic and least questionable thing is the best thing to do. If you're uncertain of whether someone would feel about that thing, the answer is probably don't do it or ask. Consent is great. Communication is amazing. Also, leave room for people to have boundaries that are not ones you would understand or adhere to in your own life, and let that be okay. Not everyone is going to have a boundary that makes sense to you, because boundaries are not built to be comfortable and convenient for you. Not all the time, anyway. Sometimes they're easier to adhere to, sometimes they're easier to understand, and other times they don't make any sense at all. Susie doesn't want you to go into her drawer, and all that's in that drawer is stuffed animals, but she does not want you to go into that drawer. That's a sacred drawer for her stuffies. It doesn't need to make sense to you in order to be a boundary worth respecting. Similar to how your boundaries don't have to make sense to somebody else. And lastly, on the conversation of boundaries, a boundary is not something you set to control somebody else. And the consequence of not having that boundary met is that you step away. I met a narcissist once that opened my eyes to understanding that there are people who think boundaries are, I don't want you to eat pudding after 5. Not because they want the pudding, not because it's their pudding, but because they're trying to control you. It's a boundary of mine. No, it's weird. That's weird. That's narcissistic and that's manipulative. Anyways, back to the video. So in essence, what we're doing here is, even with people we no longer have loyalties to, we are protecting their peace. And I'm not talking about avoiding talking about perpetrators. If you are a victim of abuse and there is a perpetrator, they deserve to be put on blast. I completely understand that, especially if it's empowering to you. I empower the victim always, but nowadays everybody's a victim. Everybody wants to be seen as a victim. Everyone wants to cry, why me, and point others as the villain. We are responsible for protecting others' peace, even when we don't like those people. Again, I'm not talking about defending horrible people. If someone is a bad person, and that not by your metric because you were hurt by them, I don't think we owe anyone this. I just think it would make the world a better place. So let me know what you think about this. Is this a hot take? Are there levels to this? Are there exceptions where this doesn't apply? Or is this a good rule of thumb for everybody? Right now, the internet is based off of chronic oversharing, and I indulge in it too. I get it. Like, it's enjoyable for me to consume, but I find myself, the older I get, literally rejecting by like uninteresting a video or just turning off my phone after seeing it when I see a video gossiping about someone else's life in a way that they haven't opened themselves up to. And I'm not talking about public figures being very, very open online and opening themselves up to be criticized, critiqued, and sharing these stories. That's a different thing, I think. But there are so many people who did not subscribe to that, are not interested in having their lives ripped open to that degree, that are becoming victims of oversharing. And there's also a lot of liars. I have a friend who is a large creator. She gets comments telling stories about experiences they've had with her that never even happened. Like, people will fabricate a story about another person because, I mean, I don't know if that's just like next level parasocial relationship and need for attention. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. It was a little bit of a tangent, but I post new videos every Wednesday. This is only my second or third video, so we will see what I end up doing next. I might do a vlog. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.